think that that's part of the issue.
Part of the trauma.
You know, when we grow up, our grandmothers, you know, Grandma LaVon, Grandma Rebecca, you know, these were all women, all Black women had to work.
Yep.
Can we talk about something? Why is your forehead all the way the fuck back here? I'm just your forehead is all the way, and then you up here being so profound and your status and all of this type shit, but your physical appearance is important. Your forehead is like by your ears. Is it or is it not? And the reason that this is important is because all these years that you have been out here, you have, even today, right now what we looking at, you have fake hair in your head. The hair that you have does not grow out of your skull. It just does not. But you have this podcast, Miss Michelle, to where you can speak all these things, and say all these things, and this, that, and you think you're being so real. At one point in your life, you probably was real. You're not that today. Let's listen to all of this, quite frankly, bullshit and minutia that she's talking about. No, this is her life at this point. But the sad part about it is, regular people like us, women, regular women, they listen to what she's saying and they try to apply that to their everyday life, which that shit don't work.
Our mother was fortunate. She didn't work until I went to high school, but that was a choice that she and my father made, because so we lived off of one salary, and we made huge sacrifices for that, because I think my mother understood that if she was going to be the kind of mother she wanted to be, that we would forego living a good life, that we live in a little bitty apartment and just.
I just can't. And this is a great freeze frame. What the fuck is going on right here, lady? Is this like, and you speaking so profoundly, look at your nails and you're doing all these type of things, and can we start right here? Can we start right here? No. It's, you know, in today's society, no, we can't start there. So let's continue.
Just make ends meet, but that was a rare thing. But you've never heard these women complain, because it wasn't what it was, just the way life was. And I think that that's part of our trauma too, because we grew up with women who weren't voicing the pain, and the burden. They made it look easy. And when you make stuff look easy, people assume that you must like this.
Yeah.
It's okay with you, right?
Right.
You know, we don't articulate as
Nope.
Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
And does anyone care?
Yeah, there's
Will
that.
they care?
There's
If
that
we
part.
knew,
Stop it.
I think we would care. If we knew.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew.
Or, you know, yeah, and we have to ask ourselves, the men in our lives is, you know, why wait to be asked? You know, it seems like what we go through is pretty obvious. I mean, maybe we're not complaining, but we're actually living life out loud, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see us carrying these babies, you see us working a job and coming home and managing, getting food on the table and handling doctor's appointments. And this is, you know, if you've got a partner, right?
Mhm.
I think some of us feel like, why should we have to ask?
Yeah.
You know, it seems apparent. And as Black women, sometimes we, you know, there is that underlying thing we're socialized to believe.
Y'all Black women, you put this shit out here. Y'all just are you just have such a burden and all this type shit, right? Do you ever think what the Black man has to go through? Is that an option, like, to even think about somebody else besides yourself? Right? And then this lady right here, this lady. She's the first lady to the president of the United States, right? And so she's coming out here to tell you peasants, y'all Black women, oh, it's just so hard. I would venture to guess for probably about the last 40 years, this lady has not had a hard day in her life. But yet, this is what Democrats do to y'all. Yes, it's so hard, especially for a Black woman. There's no one protected more today than the Black woman. You say something bad about a Black woman in public, oh, your ass is gonna be castrated. You're going to be sent out to the wolves. No. You can't do that. But you got people like this, with her big ass, wrinkled ass forehead and fake ass, chemically induced hair. She's not even real. But she's going to come on a platform and tell you Black women that to continue this same old trope. You had to carry so much on your shoulders, and you are so burdened, and you had to do this and you had to do that. But you know what? It's a choice. It is a choice, just like she made a choice. She made a choice, right? Just like that woman that she's talking to, that's listening to her, who would try to apply some of the things that she's saying to her life, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because, boo, you got 3 baby daddies, 5 kids. What she's saying to you, it's not gonna work. But people listen to this lady. And I'm saying lady, that's questionable.
from very early on that we don't deserve any better, you know?
Or that this is life for us. It's gonna be hard. Like, I grew up just expecting it. You know, I did. And, you know, it wasn't until, you know, like my son, he's growing up. There's no dad around. I lost my father in 2006. His father was murdered 2 years prior to that. And so it's like, who do I turn to, you know? And then, as you know, young boys, as he's growing up, the rose-colored glasses come off, and he's starting to see life for a young Black man. And that was difficult. And I'm not a Black man, so how do I help him maneuver through this? And, you know, I was like, we need help. And it was time to look for therapy, which I never shunned therapy because my father was a Vietnam vet, and he always talked about his struggles openly. And so I was like, well, then we need help. And so I started looking for help for us. And when I couldn't find anyone who looked like us, because now I got to get my son to open up to someone, and he's not going to feel right if the person doesn't feel familiar. And I was like, something has to be done here. That's when I launched the Forrest Lawrence Henson Foundation in honor of my father. Because I know in our community, we just do not talk about mental health. We don't.
Exactly.
We do not.
Because we are demonized, we are chastised, it's looked upon as weak, you know, and
we give it to God.
We give it to God.
And that's an important,
it's God's very
spirituality
important.
is an important,
But God gifted humans to be therapists to help other humans. So it go hand in hand. You need both. So I was like, this is a real problem. We started looking at the numbers, and only like 7% of the therapists, clinicians, and psychiatrists were of color. I was like, this is because our children don't know to go into this career, to even study this in college. And so I was like, we have to do something about this. That's when I started the work in the mental health. That's when I started checking myself. Like, whoa, you have been operating dysfunctionally for a while. You know, so a lot of the stuff I'm doing now is undoing. It's a lot of undoing. But I'm grateful because I feel better. You know,
Just talk.
and then I can help this generation coming behind to not fall into the same, you know, traps that I did, and believing the same things that, you know, we just didn't know otherwise to believe.
All right, that's gonna be enough. This shit is like women just talk, and they just be, y'all just be saying words, and what does any of that mean? But anyway, like the video, share the video, comment on it. Go over to YouTube. It's Mr. Info 504. Peace.